Good evening. Welcome everyone to the Township Council Workshop Meeting, Monday, February the 13th, 2023. This meeting is now called to order. Would Miss Dina Paolucci and Miss Harper Sherman approach the podium and lead us in the flag salute to this governing body? All rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Mrs. Kraus, can you please read the statement of public notice?
Take notice that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with NJSA 10:4-8 and NJSA 10:4-10 as follows. The notice of the meeting was prominently posted on the bulletin board at the municipal building located at 225 Main Street, Little Falls, New Jersey on December 27th, 2022. Copy of the notice was mailed to the North Jersey Herald and News and the Record on the same date. Additionally, a copy of the notice was filed in the office of the Township Clerk on said date. A link and a telephone number to join the meeting virtually can be accessed on the Township website at www.lfnj.com. Electronic provisions have been established for the public to participate during the public comment portion of the meeting.
Thank you. Mrs. Kraus, at this time, please call the roll.
Councilmember Patel,
Present.
Councilmember Murphy,
Present.
Councilmember Hablitz,
Present.
Councilmember Vanchery,
Present.
Council President Scoba.
Present. At this time, on behalf of Mayor Damiano, I'm going to read a proclamation on behalf of Black History Month. Whereas the Township of Little Falls takes pride in recognizing February 2023 as Black History Month, celebrating the many notable contributions that the people of African descent have made to our country. And whereas in 1986, Congress passed Public Law 99-244, designating February as National Black History Month to bring awareness to Black history. And whereas we celebrate the diversity of Black people, where they self-identify as African, African-American, or Black. And whereas we recognize this year's theme of Black health and wellness, to recognize and celebrate the contributions and the breakthrough from Black professionals. And whereas each Black family has a unique and interesting story, which although we may not be able to fully understand, we can listen and show what we care, treating each other with respect and empathy. And whereas we encourage all people to recognize these issues by standing in the gap at every opportunity and bridge barriers with fearlessness and determination to improve lack of representation of Black people. And whereas today we celebrate and affirm the contributions of all Black people to our community throughout the state and the nation. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Township of Little Falls does hereby proclaim February 1st through March 1st as Black History Month and calls upon the people of Little Falls to continue our efforts to create a world that is more just, equitable, and prosperous for all. Mayor James Belfort Damiano, February 13, 2023. So this evening is a real exciting for us. We have the Little Falls Chair Competition. I'm going to read a statement and then I'll call up Amber Beccario to read the names of the women who participated. Seniors of 14 under competed in 5 competitions in January against some of the toughest teams in North Jersey. Girls from Little Falls grades 6 through 8 competed in the YCADA Level 2 Division 14. The girls ended their season with a 14th place, 3rd, 2nd place, and 1st, 3rd place trophy. Our team came within tenths of a point from 1st place twice. The senior team showed the grace and determination in the face of team injuries and rearranging our routine on a moment's notice. Juniors 10 under competed in 5 competitions in January against some of the toughest teams in North Jersey. Girls from Little Falls grades 5 competed in the YCAD Level 1, Division 10. The girls ended their season with a 4th place, 2nd place, and 2nd, 1st place trophies. This junior team is composed of some of the hardest working and sweetest kids around. They made Little Falls very proud with not just their award-winning performances, but with their sportsmanship, worth, ethic, and character. Thank you, ladies, for that participation. Congratulations on a job well done. We also have the lights outside Town Hall in your honor lit up in green this evening. So at this time, can actually do it for the record.
Starting with our 10U team, Zoe Newcomb. Anna Kiefer. Danica Leitner. I don't believe she's here today, but still deserves a clap. Juge Casal. Madeline Larinoff. Juliana DeMarco. Again, not present, but still deserves a clap. Liv Verdi. Taryn Hanna. Olivia Maraglia. Harper Burrell. Gabby Paez. Ian Kim. Emery Amendinger. And Sophia Hart. That is our entire 10U team. On to our 14U, we have our wonderful captains. I'll start with them. Not here tonight. She couldn't make it. They had an illness in the family. Caitlin Schubert. And our two lovely captains here, Harper Schuerman. And Danya Palaguachi. The rest of the 14U team, Bianca Benetti. Kylie Hanna. Not here tonight, but we're still going to clap for her. Gianna Rufili. Mia Nunez. She's at a basketball game. Her sister is going to take her medal in her place. Gabby, come up and get Giselle Paez's. 4 sister sets on the team. Next up is Aisling McAvoy. She couldn't make it here tonight, but Paige Wagner. Also a little basketball girl, Lila Caban. Next up, Francesca Butler. Not here tonight, Ali Kosh. Also basketball, Kylie Amendinger. Samantha McGinn. Olivia Baracco. Dylan Karuba. Not here tonight, El Donardo. And last but not least, Ava Baraka. And those are both our teams. 34 girls competed this season and did wonderfully.
Somehow get this picture of all the young ladies. Okay, good luck. Ladies, if you're join us up here, get a photograph. I know.
Silly without my green. Yeah, but we move this. Melissa, Jackie, and Heather. Jack and Heather, I saw them here. Here you said.
Have everybody seen it?
Wonderful. Oh, can I announce? And Lila. Thank you, Phil. Steve and Lila. They ran it. Hi, baby girl. Keep clap for you. Wait, one here. There you go. These are the coaches and then the people who miss. Perfect. I'll make sure everyone. Thank you. How are you?
The door is locked.
Chief.
We unlocked it. We unlocked it.
Thank you, Little Falls Chair, for coming to us this evening. You're welcome to leave unless you want to stay and listen to us discuss.
Yeah.
Unless you want to listen to us discuss rock, salt, and towing contract, you're welcome to stay. Okay.
What a surprise.
Man, nobody want to stay?
It's a sign of their trust
That's it.
in their local government. It's okay. We trust you. You go ahead and do it. Except for being cheery. That's the one they're concerned about. Even the kids know that.
It sounds familiar, but I. That's great. My sister texted me about the closing of the parking lot, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna be in the middle of moving for a while.
Jeez.
I hope that the set of stairs is
Yeah.
rated for that.
Very close.
Please. someone- Thank you, Melissa.
Oh, chief is coming back.
Oh, Brian. Oh, you got it.
Have a motion to open the meeting to the public for general matters and agenda items.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Hablitz, second by Councilman Murphy. All those in favor of opening the meeting to general matters and agenda items, please do so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those objecting, please do so by saying nay. The motion carries. Mrs. Kraus.
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you, Mrs. Kraus. Since there's no one in the council chambers, I see Mr. Kusia. Is there anyone on the chat that would like to? No one on the chat. No one on the chat. To have a motion to close the public comment? So moved by Councilmember Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilmember Murphy. All those in favor of closing to the public, do so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, do so by saying nay. The motion carries. Items to be discussed. And Chief, we want you to weigh in on these first two items. Resolution authorizing the companies to provide light duty, and this is towing companies and providing heavy duty. Are you experiencing any issues with the current towers that operate in our community? And would you have any recommendations going forward?
We're not currently experiencing any issues with the towers that we have. I think I've been in conversation with the municipal clerk about perhaps expanding it to not limit it by a lottery in the future. I think it was when we came to that realization, it was too far in the process. So we followed the ordinance for this time, but I believe that a potential ordinance change would be in effect for then 2 years from now, I think would be the next lottery. The town council could probably weigh in on that, but I do have some input about maybe some modifications going forward on how to make it, a little more fair.
Mrs. Kraus, would you discuss how this works with the lottery?
So the ordinance currently states that if we have more than 4 applicants, that we have to hold a lottery, which we did this for the light duty towers because we received 5 applications. So we did hold a lottery. And, we have those 4 applicants who are being awarded the rotation tonight.
And the process of that lottery, how's it done?
The process is we actually get the bingo wheel from the recreation center. And we use that. We number the balls. The towers are invited to attend. We number the balls in front of them and we, just spin the wheel, just like bingo. And, the first 4 that come out are the ones that are chosen for the rotation.
So going forth, let's just say if this governing body wanted to have more than 4 towers and we change the ordinance within reason of mileage because you want response time. I guess that's something that a chief, if you and the staff recommends, we take a look at.
Yes, sir. We currently do have a response time and minimum mileage that they have to be within geographically. We had more towers that met that those criteria apply. And unfortunately, somebody had to, be left out, I guess.
Are there any questions regarding the council regarding resolutions 1 and 2? Seeing none, let's go to resolution 3, authorizing purchase of rock salt. So I see we have to go to Morris County. What happened to the connection that we had? I shouldn't say connection, that's not the right word. To the relationship, let's use the correct term here, relationship that we did have. Right? Didn't we have a relationship buying rock salt somewhere?
Yeah, we use vendors, but we
Right.
usually buy them on a state contract. Morris County Cooperative had the best price. And we still have the arrangement with the county that provides us with salt for their trucks. And we do that as a convenience to the county, and they replace anything that they use in excess of what they provide us with.
Any questions regarding that? Okay, 4, resolution of approving a certified list of LoSAP eligible volunteer members of the Low Falls Fire Department. Any questions regarding how this works from the governing body? Seeing none there, we'll move to 5, resolution authorizing Little Falls Planning Board and the Township Planner to conduct a master plan reexamination. Does the council have any questions or comments regarding 5? Number 6, resolution appointing Vince, I'm sorry. Mr. Gushi, how do you say that last name?
Vincent Quattrone.
Thank you. Vincent Cartrone as alternate fund commissioner and alternate safety delegate to the suburban Essex JIF and the municipal Essex liability JIF. Does the council have any questions or comments regarding 6? Have a motion to approve the resolutions A through G at this time.
So moved.
Moved by Council.
Second.
Let me finish my,
Sorry.
thank you. Moved by Councilman Murphy, second by Councilwoman Havelitz. Call the roll, Mrs. Kraus.
Councilmember Patel,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy.
Yes.
Councilmember Havletts.
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery.
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes, Mrs. Kraus, please read ordinance 1449.
Introduction of ordinance number 1449, an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Little Falls in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending the Township Code, Chapter 71 fees with a second reading and public hearing scheduled for March 13th, 2023.
Are there any questions, comments regarding 1449? Council member reports.
Well, did we take,
I'm sorry.
did we take a roll call?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Introducing it?
Please,
We have to do introduction.
just- Right,
Motion.
we're gonna call the roll.
We need a motion.
Do we do motion?
Motion to introduce.
All right, can I have a motion to introduce 1449? Moved by Councilmember Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilmember Murphy. Well, Mrs. Kraus, call the roll to introduce 1449.
Councilmember Patel,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy.
Yes.
Councilmember Havlet. Yes. Councilmember Vanchery.
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Councilwoman Patel, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President. So for the month of January, there were 83 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 33 which were investigated per CDC guidelines. They're still offering booster shots on February 21st, 2023 from 9 to 11 at Clifton City Hall, also on March 7th from 9 to 11. On Thursday, February 23rd, from 5 to 7 p.m., the Clifton Health Department will be at the Little Falls Library to answer any health-related questions and essentially just share information. They also do have at-home test kits. So if anyone wants those, they can reach out directly to the Clifton Health Department, or they can contact me and I can help coordinate that. And then I just wanted to remind everyone that there is still a survey up on our website when we're trying to get a better understanding of what the residents are looking for in terms of services and programs that we could help provide through the Public Health Committee. That is all for now.
Thank you, Councilwoman Patel. Councilwoman Patel, do you know how many residents responded to your survey?
There's about 75, I believe.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Havelitz?
Thank you, Council President. So I'm just going to start with some library updates. This Thursday, February 16th at 7 p.m., the library will host its first cookbook club. The theme for this month is appetizers, and the way that the cookbook club will work is you will make an appetizer and bring the recipe. So it can be from a borrowed cookbook that you borrow from the library or a family favorite. You'll bring in the prepared dish and a copy of the recipe. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully it'll be successful. On Tuesday, February 21st from 10 to 12, they will be hosting their yarn lovers meeting for knitting and crocheting. They meet every other Tuesday. You can bring your own yarn and tools. And the book club will meet on March 7th at 6 p.m. and on March 8th at 11 a.m. This month's book is The Personal Librarian, and you can obtain copies of the book at the front desk of the library. The Friends of the Library will be meeting on Tuesday, February 21st. We are still looking for members, so come to the meeting and see what the Friends is all about. I also had the pleasure of having my first meeting with the Open Space Committee. We met and the members really shared some great ideas for town. We went over the plans for Wilmore Park, and I will have the plans to present in these chambers in the very near future. And lastly, just on the recreation front, they are taking registration for the Breakfast with the Bunny. That will be Saturday, April 8th. There will be 2 sessions at the Sports and Recreation Complex from 9:30 to 11 a.m. and session 2 will be from 11 to 12 p.m. There will be a take-home Easter craft, some face painting, balloon artists, local businesses, and an Easter goodie bag giveaway. So you can pre-register on Community Pass. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman Havelitz. Councilmember Vanchery?
Thanks, Council President. First, want to say thank you. I know the girls are outside with their parents still taking some photos to the Little Falls cheer competition for coming in tonight for the 10U and 14U groups being honored. It's great to see that the girls, put all that hard work and determination and came out with some successful results. Just some updates on my end. Last week I held our second Transportation Committee meeting, and I just want to thank, Officer Panola, Chief Prawl, as well as Commissioner Sandy Lazara for joining us. I had reached out to Commissioner Lazara to see if she can join us because some of the committee members and some residents actually had some questions related to county roads. So I really appreciate the fact that she took the time to meet with the committee and some of our residents to answer the questions that we had. And, the one thing based on that conversation, with Commissioner Lazara is definitely she wants to continue that dialogue and, let her know if there's anything that she can do. She also encouraged us to reach out to the new county engineer, as well as their coordinator for grants, because to see if there's opportunities, if we're looking for some items related to traffic items. And I know I talked to Chief Prohl about it, as well as Mr. Kuchar earlier tonight. We're going to look into some of those opportunities from a grant standpoint. The one thing that did come up that, I'm appreciative of the commissioner as well as Chief Prohl was, a resident had a concern about adding an additional crosswalk over by Wilmore Road. So if you pay attention to Main Street, by the park, there really isn't a pedestrian crosswalk that's available. So one of the things that we're going to look into is doing this, and I had a chance to talk to the mayor after our meeting as well. And as part of the streetscape, we did get the grant for the streetscape that will go from Maple down to Van Ness. So the plan is when we are getting ready to do that, we are going to carve out a curb cut and make sure it is ADA accessible, for that walkway to Wilmore Road Park. And as I was talking to the mayor, because again, conversation we had last week at this meeting is we should also look at the rest of the streetscape as well as Main Street, to see if there's additional crosswalks that are needed further down. If you notice with the construction that's been taking place, there were additional crosswalks that were added just by the Little Falls Liquor Store and then further down by Bibiana's. And maybe that's something we look into making permanent. And if there's other roads such as Wilmore Road, if there needs to be another crosswalk added. So it was a good conversation with all. So we're looking forward to continue that dialogue, but just wanted to let people know that look forward to having a crosswalk at Wilmore Road, especially as we get closer to the concerts in the park and other activities throughout the year. And then let me just shift gears a little bit from a Little Falls Police Department standpoint. I know Chief Prohl is going to talk about this, but if you didn't see the communication that went out last week via social media about the new traffic safety complaint form, please take a look at this. The one thing that Chief Prohl and his traffic department have ensured the residents of Little Falls is traffic is the #1 issue, and it's something that they are going to address head on. And I encourage everyone to fill out the form, put all the details that are required, and know that the police department is going to look into this. So utilize this form. Don't use Facebook to complain. Use this form to complain, because then their action is going to be taken by the police department. So I know, Chief, you're going to talk about that. Really appreciate what you and the department are doing. I also want to acknowledge, I know you're going to talk about the new speed radars, the 4 new items that were purchased. 2 of them were mounted, of course, one on Stevens Ave by School 1. So just, again, just grateful for all the work that you and your staff have been putting in to address the concerns that we've heard from residents over the last couple of years. One other item related to transportation I did want to mention too is, with Mr. Kuchar and Mayor Damiano and Council President Scoba, we are in the process of transitioning the traffic light that we've been working on with Francisco and Wilmore to Boswell Engineering so that they can work on in completing this project. This is something that, many of us have spent some time on to make happen. We finally want to see that traffic light hopefully installed in 2023. So I'm grateful for Boswell stepping in to take over this project, and looking forward to more updates in the near future. Let me say, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, a couple other items on my end. As we look to a number of activities that are going to take place this year, I'm in the process right now of coordinating the April is Autism Awareness Month flag raising. So we're just going to coordinate that to my colleagues on the council. I'm going to also send out a communication to you as well as the mayor to figure out the date that works best. April 1st is on a Saturday, so maybe we could set something up that morning, because knowing that a lot of sports don't start till 2 weeks after, so we may have some time there. So more details to come so that we can have something to recognize awareness for autism and have the community come out as well to support that. And then, as we get closer to May, as you guys know, with the Memorial Day parade, as well as the activities on the Friday night concert, I've already started that planning, and I'm happy to report that we have 2 bands already locked in for that Friday night concert in the park Monday if it rains, because the last 3 years it's rained. So knock on wood, maybe this year it won't rain, but that's something we're working on as well to bring everybody together. And the other thing too that we typically do at this concert is we encourage all the local businesses to come out and organizations as well. So I'm working on a flyer that will go out soon just to get some of those businesses and organizations to come back out as well, because we want to support them any way we can. Lastly, I just want to mention too, one other thing. If you didn't see the email that went out, and I just want to give kudos to Tyler Pissarro from the rec department, as well as Mike Bandersky, our EMS coordinator. With everything that happened recently in the NFL with one of the Buffalo Bills players that was injured, and CPR has become a hot subject, and many people have looked into all right, I should learn how to do this in case we're in that situation. And what you've seen across the country is a spike in CPR classes, and just happy to say that the rec department and our EMS coordinator set up sessions for residents as well as our coaches in sports for CPR trainings. We have a couple sessions lined up over the next month and looking to schedule more. And I'm happy to say that both sessions were pretty much sold out because there is an interest on many residents to get involved, not just coaches, but also, families who just want to make sure they're prepared. God forbid something bad does happen. So kudos to Mr. Bandersky as well as Mr. Passero for doing that. That's it for me, Council President.
Thank you. Councilman Murphy, floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President. I'd just like to thank the Little Falls competitive cheerleaders for coming tonight. It's awesome to see their successes. I just want to congratulate them on that. It's an awesome job on their part. Other than that, I did have the opportunity about 2-3 weeks ago to meet with the Passaic County Domestic and Sexual Violence Center. Dawn Waters and Mike Pano were came out to the Little Falls Library. I'd like to thank Matt Hardy for setting that up and facilitating it and being there for it. We had an awesome discussion on the resources that they are providing and that we could utilize here in Little Falls. So I brought that back to the committee when we had our meeting last week. We kind of brainstormed some ideas on how we're going to work together and pursue this even more so that the county and Little Falls are working together. The committee also had some great ideas on what we're going to do this year, what our goals are, and how we're going to facilitate those. So overall, it was a really, really good meeting with the county as well as the committee. We have some really, really good and awesome things coming forth this year, and look forward to working with them. I would also like to thank Council President for doing some research for us. I know the committee had some questions and you found out some information for us. So I just want to thank you for that. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Murphy. So want to wish the residents and my colleagues a happy Valentine's Day tomorrow. I'll be spending it with our seniors. Hopefully, my colleagues will join us from 1 to 3 at the Civic Center. We're going to have a Valentine's Day dessert and dancing, delicious desserts from ShopRite, a DJ, some Zumba dancing with Dina Beer, and also a little surprise that we have for each person attending. So we look forward to, we'll still take people, seniors, if they want to come, you can still show up that day. We have about 70 seniors attending this event tomorrow. The next event will be March 17th, which is St. Patty's Day. Maybe Councilman Vanchery will keep the lights green from now to then. That's going to be from 12 to 2. Again, at the Civic Center, more information to follow. That's generally just a corned beef and cabbage. Unfortunately, no beer because it's a township property and we're not allowed to serve liquor. I'm going to read a letter by the mayor. This was hand delivered to residents of Stanley Street, Ridge Ave, and surrounding areas. This is concerning the former PNC Bank and new township parking lot. Dear neighbor, please be advised that I'll be hosting a town hall style meeting on Tuesday, February the 28th, 2023, 7 o'clock at the Little Falls Civic Center to discuss the future of the new municipal parking lot located along Stevens Ave and Stanley Street. As you may be aware, the township has recently acquired the former PNC parking lot, along with the first 3 homes adjacent to the parking lot along Stanley Street to create additional downtown municipal parking. During this meeting, the areas of ingress and egress, entrance and exit will be discussed from the lots, as well as the potential closure of Stanley Street between Stevens Ave and Ridge Ave will be discussed. And your input and recommendations are requested. Should you have any questions prior to the meeting or should be unable to attend, but have a desire to provide your input, please do not hesitate to contact me. I look forward in seeing you then. Very truly yours, James Belford Damiano, Mayor of the Township of Little Falls. Chief Pro, would you like to discuss some issues this evening for us?
Just going to reiterate what the Councilman Vanchery talked about with the traffic safety complaint form. So I'd like to urge everybody that's either online or going to watch this on YouTube tomorrow to go ahead and follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and we're also on Instagram. So we put out a lot of information. That's where we put out the traffic safety complaint form. And we're just trying to come up with some type of a formal process, solicit information from the residents, and then coming up with a plan internally with our traffic safety section to have these resolved, in the most expeditious manner possible. So this is what we came up with. We're going to implement this, immediately. And so far we've, gotten some input. So, so far it's working. Like the councilman said, we did install 2 stationary radar sites. They're just displaying the speed. Hopefully that'll curtail some of the behavior. One permanent site is on Francisco and one is on Stevens Ave. I'm waiting on solar panels to come in for 2 more units, and they will be permanently affixed on Patterson Ave in both directions. So we'll put them near the crosswalks, hopefully making motorists a little bit more aware of their speed. Patterson Ave is just a 25-mile-per-hour zone, and hopefully those, will help. We also have 2 additional units that we use in our traffic safety section to address complaints from residents, so we can move those around town as the need exists. Pedestrian safety, we've been receiving some complaints for pedestrian safety. It's important to us. So we're going to look to do some targeted enforcement on some of the most problematic areas, and then come up with some long-term solutions to maybe increase pedestrian visibility. I know something that we had discussed at the committee meeting was the use of some flags potentially, to where you install these flag devices on both sides of the crosswalk, and the pedestrian will take the flag out, hold it up in the air, signifying to the drivers their intent to cross. They cross the crosswalk, and then they just put the flag on the other side of the crosswalk. So, I am the type of chief that will explore all options to solve problems. So if pedestrian safety is a concern of people, we will go out and research it, and we'll come up with solutions. So that's it on the traffic safety front. I just had a little bit, I didn't get a chance to make a report last month, but we did close out one of the grants for DWI enforcement. And I know that there's a lot of people will tell you that now with Uber and, Lyft and all these alternatives, people are driving less drunk. And, I wish that were the case, because unfortunately we did go out and we did arrest people on the grant. So it continues to be a problem. I can assure the public that a $35 lift is a lot cheaper than, some of the consequences that come along with driving while intoxicated. So we're out there, we're either on a grant or just part of our regular patrol. We're out there and we are enforcing that. So that's it from the police department.
Chief Pearl, I think my colleagues and I would agree that those new speed signs, if you call them that, or I don't know the technical name, are not a flimsy type of sign. They are, looks like for almost, they could be there for like 20 years. They're really built well.
Yes, sir.
This is not like a temporary type of sign. So I'm really encouraged and glad you were able to do that. Was that from a grant that you were able to get those funds?
We utilize that from what was Safe Corridor. So that was deferred for a couple of years at the state level. So because we have the stretch of Route 46, which is deemed a safe corridor, any moving violation that the officers issue, that's a safe corridor, part of the funds of the fine come back to the township. And that funds the, initiatives like this, pedestrian safety or traffic safety. So we do have additional funds available there that I'm going to look to prioritize what, the next predominant traffic related issue in the town is, and then we're going to go ahead and, solve those problems.
Well, I think your location of those signs are excellent, especially now coming on Patterson Ave. They're excellent locations to place those devices. Thank you for all the hard work you do in keeping our community safe, Chief. Please keep up the good work.
Council President, can I ask-
Through the floor,
Yeah.
Councilman Vanchery, the floor is yours.
Paul, do you want to also talk about what we discussed with Commissioner Lazara about the county road speed limits? Do you want to just briefly touch on that?
Okay, this was something that I inherited. I believe Steve Post was the chief that originally council. There was a push to have it 25 miles per hour townwide. So that all our municipal roads, other than county roads, are already at 25 miles per hour. So I know Main Street is affected, Ridge Ave and Stevens, which goes 25 during the school zones. So the representative from the county said that, the engineer would have to do some research and look into it. And as so long as the governing body at the county had a resolution to accompany what the municipality was looking to do, that they would go with a 25 mile per hour zone townwide. And I think that's a huge benefit. Main Street in particular goes through about 6 different speed zones. I know it's confusing to people. If they're not paying attention, they miss a sign, but they saw one that, was 3 blocks before. They may be speeding and not even realizing it. So at 25 mile per hour, through town makes it very easy to people. That's something that it's easier on enforcement for the officers, and it's also, just sends the right message that if you come into Little Falls, it's 25 throughout the town, other than obviously Route 23 or Route 46.
At this time, does the council members have any questions for Chief Pearl? Thank you, Chief. Have a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items only. Moved by Councilmember Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Havelitz. All those in favor of opening the meeting to the public for agenda items only, please do so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, do so by saying nay. The motion carries. Mrs. Kraus.
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the council president. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the council president. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the council president will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you. The floor is now open. Seeing no one in the council chambers that are coming before us, Mr. Kuchar, is there anyone on the chat that would like to talk? Okay, thank you. Excuse me, sir, are you Steve Lennox? Would you like to say anything to this governing body?
You gotta come up.
Come up to the mic for the record.
And you have this.
State your name.
I'm Steve Lennox. I'm the publisher of Tap into Passaic Valley. Thank you for inviting me to speak. We've just taken over Tap into Passaic Valley. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, it's a local newspaper, covers Little Falls, Totowa, and Woodland Park. Sorry, I drew a blank there. I've been doing Tap Into since 2017. I own 5 of them. Patterson, Bayonne, Hoboken, Jersey City, Hamilton, and Robbinsville, and now Passaic Valley. So our goal is just to tell the stories that need to get out there to the residents. Everything you're talking about tonight, from the radar machines to the flyer, to make sure people know about blood drives that are happening, about vaccinations, and the city stuff, the local community stuff. We want to tell positive stories about these communities. Our style of storytelling is a little bit different than some other reporters. Obviously, not everything is rosy all the time, but I think we can always find good things, like these young ladies that represented your town so well. So that's really all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for having me tonight, and you'll see a lot more of us hopefully in the coming months.
Thank you for joining us, sir. See no one else, I would like to come before this governing body. Can I have a motion to close the public comment?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Murphy, second by Councilman Vanchery. All those in favor of closing the public comment, do so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, do so by saying nay. Want to thank the staff for helping us put on this meeting. That was very efficient. Thank you. Can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Havelitz. All those in favor of closing this meeting, do so by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, do so by saying nay. This meeting is now closed.